Chennai fans are all trolling him. It's not a tribute to Dhoni. He played a very fair and fantastic game.
Sadhguru, you were rebellious right from the get-go.
Assembly time, I take out my socks. They say, get out. I am out of the window. So I thought at least if I go to the army, I'll escape from everything. Just walk on the Rajasthan border right now and tears come when I just think about them.
And what about biking is so that attracts you?
Many days I would ride 11 to 1200 kilometers. I'd slept on my motorcycle.
So what you've done is bringing the yogic perspective of Mahadev rather than just the religious perspective.
He's not a religious man, he's a yogi. Adi Yogi is not of the past. Adi Yogi is for the future because he is giving you a technological solution to every goddamn problem you can create. Namaskaram.
Namaskar.
In Telugulo మాట్లాడతారే హర్యానా ఇంకా వచ్చి నాకు
కొంచెం సద్గురు. సద్గురు గారు బాగా ఉన్నారా?
బాగున్నాను కదా.
ఐపీఎల్ చూస్తున్నారా? ఐపీఎల్ చూస్తున్నారా?
ఒకే ఒక మ్యాచ్ చూశానండి.
ఎలాగా ఉన్నది మ్యాచ్? మ్యాచ్ ఎలాగా ఉన్నది?
మ్యాచ్ ఏం లేదండి, అంత ఓకే టీమ్.
మీరు ఫేవరెట్ టీమ్ చెన్నై ఉంది.
నా ఫేవరెట్ టీమ్ క్రికెట్ అండి. People always ask, Sadhguru, which is your favorite team? I don't look at a match like that. Even when I watch cricket, I'm not looking at the score, I'm watching ball to ball. Because that's where the game is.
Yeah.
Score is a childish arithmetic. Yes, it matters, somebody wins, somebody loses, but for me, every ball, how it's being done and how it's bowled, how it's hit, how it's fielded, I'm watching this. If they're doing it well, I enjoy it. I don't care who they are, I won't even know who they are.
But Sadhguruji, I think this is an excellent start in my mind, because in today's world of social media, unfortunately the score and who's your favorite team.
That's because they don't know the game. They don't know nothing about the game. Because they have not watched test matches and the nuances of cricket, there's so many nuances to the game, which is very unique compared to any other game. But these people have all probably grown up just watching T20. They think they don't know the difference between baseball and cricket. Hit the ball, run and score and count the numbers. This is very simplistic.
I think enjoying the game for what it is in my view something that I believe will give so much peace on X and Instagram, where team clubs have become the single biggest matter of fight. So I am so happy you're saying this. But that said, I continue to be a great fan of MS Dhoni, who you went to watch.
They even planned a nice run out for him. And unfortunately, the New Zealand boy didn't understand, he hit a six. So Chennai fans are all trolling him that you should have allowed Dhoni to hit that. So this is becoming like a movie dumb. It's not a game is different.
Absolutely.
Sport is playing every ball to its fullest, not about…
You're talking about the 2019 semi-final that remains in the heart of every Indian.
I'm saying it's not a tribute to Dhoni to do this.
Yeah.
He played a very fair and fantastic game throughout his career. He brought a new level of wisdom to the game. When the game was getting little boisterous and going out, he brought that gentlemanly thing back to the game.
Back to the game.
Unfortunately, I know people love him, it's fine. Love does not mean that you have to distort everything.
Correct. Correct.
You love him because of his cricket.
Because of his skills and his hard work.
No, because of his cricket.
Correct.
You don't know him as a person,
Correct.
all right? You love him because of his cricket. So don't destroy the cricket and love the man.
I think that is, and I think that is true not just for him. There are other excellent cricketers like Virat Kohli and various others. When they're doing well, people support them. And when there is a small mistake, I think instead of appreciating all the great cricket they have played, people end up
No, I don't agree with that. You've done very well till now. If you do badly today, I won't spare you.
That's true.
Okay?
That's true.
So it's fine, but I know the vitriol that they're pouring out, which is unnecessary. Criticism is okay.
Correct.
Today you're not playing well, we say you're not playing well, what's wrong with that?
Can be an objective criticism.
It can be little acerbic criticism also, but I'm saying you're not playing well, you're not playing well. Everybody cannot express in the same language, somebody will express little more, it's okay. But these hate campaigns that they run, or love campaigns that they run, both are wrong.
So Sadhguru, when I saw your beautiful ESD there,
That I'm not writing. That's too antique to write now.
but it looks beautiful. I think your story of, every Indian who's grown
About
up…
the SD 250,
Yes,
the Road King, they made a coffee table book, the SD company, recently, the Iranis who made that. So in that they put it out that in a single calendar year, I am the only rider who pushed a SD to that many kilometers.
really.
On an average, I was doing anywhere between 54 to 60,000 kilometers a year. I would change…
60,000?
Yeah, I would change 5 to 6 sets of tires. I would rebore the engine about 4 times in a year.
And what about biking is so that attracts you?
It's not about biking, I don't see it as that. It's just that at that time, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know what is there and what everybody is doing in their day-to-day lives is just not enough. That much I know clearly, 100%. I don't want to be a doctor, I don't want to be an engineer, I don't want to be an accountant. When family started pushing, you must choose something, I said, okay, I'll go to the army. Okay.
Is that why you have the…
No, this is… the BSF wanted to honor me, so I want to remind people, right now you're sitting here and saying push, 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 you have a cooler running, all this. Stand on the Rajasthan border now.
Or in Siachen?
Siachen is nice now, huh?
In the summers, sure.
Yeah.
But Jaisalmer is not fun.
Just walk on the Rajasthan border right now and through this summer, 8 hours a day, then you will see what's BSF, all right. For me, tears come when I just think about them. I've been there and I've seen men how they go through it. Now there are women also in the BSF.
Yeah. So Sadhguru, going back to your story, your parents pushed you to find out something.
No, they're not wanting me to find out anything. They want me to do something which is already found out. Because that's what is safe. No parent wants you to find out something, all right?
My parents…
What is already found, do it. I'm a doctor, you become a doctor. If you can't become a doctor, become an engineer. If you can't become an engineer, do business or commerce or something. No, I'm not interested in any of those things, so what? So I thought at least if I go to the army, I'll escape from everything, and above all, army promised us adventure.
Correct.
There was one Colonel Kumar, I don't know if you heard of him, maybe you're too young for that. He was legendary at that time. He was a mountaineer and he climbed, I think he did Kanchenjunga a couple of times. So, I was part of the Deccan mountaineering. So he came and spoke to us, he was, he showed all his toes gone in his frostbite stuff. So, I thought the best thing is join the army, at least you get to climb a mountain and do something. And I was also into hang gliding. So armed forces were the only ones who were doing hang gliding at that time. So I thought if I go to the army, maybe they'll let me fly. Maybe they would just make me do this, I don't know, but that was a dream.
So, Sadhguru, you were rebellious right from the get-go.
No, I didn't think I'm rebellious, I just did what I want. Everybody thinks you're doing something rebellious. What is human nature? Tell me. If you don't mess them up from early on, which nobody could do to me, what is human nature? Human intelligence is looking what is what. This is not just human nature, this is the nature of all life. Leave one rodent here, that guy will explore every hole, every corner, everything that's there. In 5 minutes he'll know the entire damn place. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
It's just that our scale is bigger, that's all, being human. So they think this is rebellious, it's nothing rebellious, it's the nature of a human being to search. You destroyed this possibility of human beings searching and knowing things with the ideas of religion, nationalities, various kinds of identities which they want you to be limited within that identity to serve them in some way. If you did not mess a child with any kind of belief system, any kind of philosophy, any kind of scripture, would he not ask the question, how did all this happen? Where did I come from? I was not there and now I'm here, where do I come from? My grandfather was here and he's gone now, where has he gone? Is it not a question every child will ask?
Yeah.
No, before you ask, you say, grandfather came from God and went back to God and he's playing cricket with God, depends which country you are, okay? So once you start telling lies like this all over the place, then you destroyed the search. Otherwise, every child, natural intelligence is such, it will seek, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing rebellious about it. I didn't think I was rebellious, I was just doing what was natural to me and everybody was boiling and hopping, that's their rebellion.
The reason I said so, Sadhguru, is because in a small way, I feel I had a childhood similar to you. I was always the kid who was asking weird questions. I didn't pursue my university, my parents told me that you should do something. I dropped out after my high school and I started a business of mine. So I always, and everybody around me would say, like, you're very rebellious. So when I got the opportunity to read your story, I think it's just perspective of curiosity or like you say, seeking. That…
There is a natural seeking for human intelligence. A rodent will see where all the food is. If you leave a dog, it's go on smelling, what's it doing?
By themselves.
It's seeking. What? He knows he's seeking.
Yeah.
He's seeking food and he's seeking a mate all the time. A human being, his intelligence allows him to seek something much bigger, that's about it.
And then, Sadhguru, and I know you mentioned about identity is not being such a great thing, but would you call yourself a free-thinking libertarian as an outcome?
Why are you fixing an identity like that?
I knew you would say this, but I felt I'll ask you anyway.
It sounds quite laborious, free thinking, this thing. I don't think most of the time. Just yesterday I was telling somebody, buddy, stop thinking. Learn to look at things the way they are. Thinking means what? You're recycling your old data. If you don't stop this nonsense, you will do nothing new ever in your life. Because old data keeps circulating, and you think you're thinking. No, it's mental diarrhea happening.
Right.
So, I'm not free thinking, I'm not in a diarrheal state. When I want to think, I think consciously,
You look at
otherwise…
it and see it for what it is.
Isn't that how you perceive life? Is there some other way?
Like you said, that is what human behavior is, naturally.
No, but the human behavior is so messed up simply because of the identities we have taken. Identities we have taken is just from the memories that we hold, isn't it? If I pull out your memory chip, then what are you?
Yeah.
So, there is life and life process beyond psychological process. We're just too lost in our own psychological process. What this means is, you're not involved in the larger creation. You're too fascinated with your own silly creation that you're doing in your head. You think too much of yourself, to put it simply.
Absolutely, Sadhguru. And I think it's an important point saying that you can either think too much,
No,
but
no,
leave
I
out
don't
the
agree.
opportunity of…
I don't agree. Nobody in the world is thinking too much. I think they're not thinking enough. It's just that their thinking is so frictious that if they think 10 thoughts, they'll feel stressed. And they think they're thinking too much. Right now you are appreciating my SD. Those days, I was built like that, I was made like that. Many days I would ride 11 to 1200 kilometers on the roads of India of that day, all
That
right?
means almost no break.
No break, no such thing. I didn't know what's a break. Even now I don't have a break in my life. So, full on, 5 times I'll fill the tank in a day, okay? Because I'm not going anywhere, I'm only going. I'm not going to some place. I'm just seeing India. I've absorbed India like that, without any pride or prejudice about it, simply absorbed India the way it is.
No biases, nothing, just seeing people.
No, just saying. Never checked into any Oyo hotel or nothing. I just went and introduced myself and stayed in somebody's house in the village. Some people welcomed me and may give me a small place, some people said sleep outside.
Oh, so you just basically were wandering. So when you're riding, if you had to sleep somewhere in the day, you just go knock a door and ask for help.
Sometimes, if I'm short of food, I go to places where people will offer me some food and some place to sleep, sometimes no. Otherwise I'll climb up a tree and sleep on the tree. Probably I'm the only one who could sleep soundly upon my motorcycle. I slept on my motorcycle.
You slept on a motorcycle
Yes.
for a night.
There's no full night for me. Even now there's no full night. If I sleep for a couple of hours, I'm fine.
That's enough. That's incredible, Sadhguru. So, Sadhguru, I think… Sorry, I'm switching gears. To talk a little bit
You're
about…
losing direction.
Yeah.
Or not switching… Switching gears means we're speeding up.
That's a good way to put it.
No, switching gears means we're going faster.
In the same direction. No, we have to… I think we are going to change direction.
We need to do the handlebar or the steering wheel, depends what you're…
We are going to do the handlebar on the other side. So, Sadhguru, let's talk a little bit about education. We are here at Jnanashala, the home school, where I also got the opportunity to speak to some of your students. They have a fascinating perspective. So, What inspired you to build this?
See, when I went to school, there are many aspects. I don't want to go into everything. Much has been spoken already about my,
Childhood.
lack of schooling kind of thing. But one thing I noticed was, I have a billion questions like a cloud hanging around me. Anybody I see, I will torture them with questions. But you see, almost nobody has any genuine answer. They'll all quote something. They'll say, this man said this, that man said that, this one says this. I said, that's not the point. What is… you came ahead of me. So nobody says, what is my experience of life and this is what it is, this is what I've realized, this is what I've gleaned from life. No. They say this book says this, that man said this is a great man, he said that. So essentially all of them are trying to establish an authority. Nobody is interested in truth. Authority is the truth in their life. God said it, some sage or saint said it, God's son said it, God's messenger said it, my guru said it, my father said it. Doesn't matter what said, you're trying to establish an authority. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the truth. Do you have even a tiny bit of truth for me? No.
Yeah.
You're quoting and quoting nonsense. So when I went and saw in the school, I could figure out what they're talking, not of great importance to me. But the important thing is, essentially they were talking something which doesn't mean a damn thing to them. There were few teachers who stood out. They were talking something that matters to them. I don't care whether it's physics, chemistry, mathematics, English, this, that, whatever. But I'm willing to listen to somebody only if it means something to someone. They're talking something that means something to them. You think it's great nonsense and you're telling me, I'm not interested. Even today, people ask me, Sadhguru, where is this patience from? People are talking such stupid things and you listen to them. I said, because it means something to them. If they say one word that doesn't mean anything and they think it's some great rubbish,
to say, huh?
I'm done with them. So you say something which means something to you. Once I realized that they're talking things which don't mean a damn thing, it's just a way of earning a living for them, I am out of the window. Fortunately, in my school there were no window bars. I
You
was
could not
always out.
bunk your classes.
Huh?
You could not bunk your classes.
What do you mean?
Bunking is like you can just leave lot of
No, it was
school-
very simple. Right through my high school, it was like this. We go first in the morning, there's one period where the attendance happens.
Correct.
I finish that, after that there's an assembly. Assembly time, I take out my socks and keep it in my pocket. They say, get out. That's all. I went to the lake, I swam, I caught fish, ate. I went on the mango trees, I caught snakes, I did all kinds of things, birds.
You found a way to be asked out of the class.
See, it was legal. I didn't run
Just
away.
about legal. So Sadhguru, you talked about snakes. I grew up in a place called Raigada in Odisha, Andhra Pradesh borders. That's how I know Telugu.
I know Raigad,
You know about Raigada?
very connected to Raigad.
That's incredible. I heard, by the way, your story of Sambalpur, which is not very far from our town.
Raigad also,
You're connected to there as well?
very much.
So our place has 80% forest cover, as you would know, Sadhguru. So our house, all the time there would be some snake or the other that will be found, right? So we got used to having snakes, right? Like we were not like scared of having snakes, which is what you see typically in an urban town, or some people think if there's a snake you should be very scared. But I see the significance of Naga in the ashram in Nalanda. We were just seeing that even behind the doors, the chitkani hoti, even that had Naga on it. What is your relationship with snakes and Naga?
It's not relevant in a talk like this, but I will ask you to read up my relationship with Raigad and snakes.
Where can I find it, Sadhguru?
More than a life, it's there.
I'm going to read it for sure.
So, Raigad, me and Cobra are like bang up. Okay, let's not go there now. The important thing is, in the development of human consciousness, in the development of human intelligence, one significant stage is that of a reptile. In your brain, because you didn't go to school, I'm explaining all these things.
Thank you, Sadhguru. I came here for wisdom anyway, and you invited me to Jnanashala at this beautiful courtyard, so I thought might as well.
So, in your brain, there is a small fist-sized brain which is called the reptilian brain.
In human brain itself?
Yes, yes. I said you're human, right?
Of course.
So, there is a reptilian brain. This brain is not a thinking brain. It does everything automatic. In a large capacity, most of the things you are is in this. The trouble that you create for yourself is in the rest of the cerebral cerebral flower that's come over that. This allows you to think, this allows you to project, this allows you to do things. But your entire survival process, your motor skills, everything is in the reptilian brain. It's automatic brain. And that is most important. If that doesn't function, this one is nothing. This is the fluff. We can do a lot with fluff, of course. I'm not saying fluff in a negative way, but it's like in the brain, if you look at it, it's like the fluff. So, because generally in this civilization it was never so, because after the Europeans came, because they did not know anything more than their thought. They had no insights, they had no deeper ways of divining things. For them, free thinking became like liberation, because they grew up and they lived and they suffered religious persecution like nobody. That if you think anything other than what's written in the book, you're dead. You know those millions of women who were burnt on the stake, what was their crime in Europe? It's just this, they were doing something other than what's written in the book. That's all. For that they were burnt alive in millions, not in one or two. So that was the level of control, that if you think differently, other than the way the religion teaches, you should not exist. I always keep joking about this. There are two ways of answering a question. If you know how to answer, you answer the question. Otherwise, you kill the questioner. Question is gone for now. And nobody else will dare to articulate the same question again in this generation. Hello? It's happening, right? Even today it's happening. You ask a question, we'll kill the questioner. Finished. Question is over. So this is how it was. When they broke through that, this, they call this the age of enlightenment. All they could do was, they could think free of the scriptures that they were attached to. Not fully free, little bit over. Suddenly it's the age of enlightenment.
That led to the age of enlightenment.
I'm not calling it enlightenment, they call it.
So-called.
In this civilization, we have never attached much significance to human thought, because human thought is just recycling of existing data. If you perceive this, you can multiply this in your mind in many different ways. Not that it's not useful, it's useful to create atmospheres, it's useful to survive, it's useful to run economics and stuff, which is all survival glorified if you ask me. Hello?
Yeah.
Just survival glorified and taken to such limits that it doesn't matter, after 10,000 years we're still fighting for survival. This is stupid because we've upped the bar in such a way. Even if you're a billionaire, you're still struggling for survival in the billionaire world. I'm telling you.
Well, which is, by the way, I agree is true. Because for whatever reason, all of us are getting past every day in a manner where there is this pursuit that we are all on. But Sadhguru, I think the point that you mentioned is a very important one, and I think about it often as well, which is even on a scientific side, we are all trying to be a derivation of what already exists out there, rather than creating something entirely new. If you look at science also, the number of breakthrough inventions that have come in the last 5 or 6 decades have been so much lesser than what used to be earlier, that when light was invented or various…
Nobody invented light.
I mean, not light, bulb. My apologies. Light has always been there.
Light has been there, all right?
Bulb or electricity or one of them.
Whatever. See, the thing is this, if you know nothing, you go to school and they taught you how to count up to 5, not 10, up to 5, you feel enlightened, all right?
Correct.
You came home and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
That's it.
Correct.
This used to happen to my daughter Radhe when she was little, very little. I always made sure if she's around me, I will take her somewhere where she can see the stars or outside in the nature or forest. So I take her up on the terrace, she looks at the stars and she says, Jaggi, 10.
Because I could count 10.
Not she counts 10. That's the biggest number in the universe.
She knows. Oh wow.
Not she knows. That's the biggest number in the universe. Where can you count more? I am saying, whatever you think is the biggest number is just a question of more zeros, isn't it? So in her mind, 10 is the largest number in the universe. So she says, so many, 10. That's a great number. What's wrong with 10? Even all the stars want to wear number 10. So, our idea of numbers and our idea of universe, our idea of physics, well, there is a whole committed troll army against me, which they will all get on. I want to give them some material, otherwise how do they make a living, huh? Poor guys. So let me give them some material. Today what you know as physics, what you know as science, whatever. See, in this cosmos or in this atom, whether you take the smallest unit or the ultimate unit, in both, over 99%, 99.99 something percent is nothing, vast nothingness, even in the atom. So you know, with all your objective observations, you know 0.0001 something, all right? With that, you're audacious enough to make conclusions about life. I think it's too stupid. Simply because you can create a little more comfort and convenience, this doesn't mean you figured out all life, all right? So, this is not… I am not trying to denigrate science. Science has done fantastic things. Life is more comfortable than ever before. Survival is more simple than ever before. But being able to do something better and knowing are two different things. So the longing to know is what drove science. But today it's all like innovation, doing one more thing, one more gadget, one more nonsense, so that people can do. See, for example, I'm not talking against any brand, phones are coming every year. Whatever, one calls it the entire galaxy, another calls it 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16, 17. All right, whatever they call it. They have to do something for their marketing, it's fine with me. All I am saying is, most people, I am telling you, most people who think they are technologically competent, for example, they still can't use iPhone 10 or 11 properly. Fully, I'm saying. Properly is not the word, fully. It's full capacity. Now whatever 16, 17 that is there, not even 2% or 5% of its capacity people are using, except a few people who are using little more. So, producing newer and newer models is only a question of commerce, because otherwise you'll stay with the same phone, it's not good for
No
the
repeat
economy.
business.
Huh?
No repeat business.
Not good for the economy. Let me not accuse just one company.
Yeah,
It's not good for the general economy.
Consumerism needs to grow, and this is a path towards it.
Don't use the word grow. Not good for the economy.
Not good.
You need to consume. At the same time, we crib that ecology, all right? Leave that aside. But the important thing is, there's no real longing to know. That's a very small band of scientists, tiny. Rest are all thinking what research will give them funding. It's all about funding. Very unfortunate, but it's all about funding. Oh, how can we do without fund? That is true also. I'm saying, it's like when commerce gets into science, when commerce drives science, that's not science for me.
Yeah.
When commerce drives spiritual process, that's not spiritual process for me. People who do not know, I'm talking to the troll army, which they'll come with you anyway. I'm just telling that. You know, many years ago, we formed Isha Foundation and Isha Business. Our people said, Sadhguru, this is too up in the face. Isha Business, what is this? I said, this is how it is with me. Foundation will never do business. Business will not do dana dharma, it will do business. You're not in terms with it, it's up to you. For me, this has to be clear. Spiritual process will not be handled as business.
And you'd rather disclose it and talk about it upfront rather than try and do it in a…
What is the point?
Correct. I agree with you.
So, Isha Business will not do dana dharma, they're looking for profit.
And foundation will not look
Foundation will not do business, they're just looking how to get it across to people.
Yeah, yeah. So Sadhguru, I think this is a good segue. I'm an entrepreneur. So Sadhguru, one of the questions I have, or at least I believe, that there is a structural difference between a business person and an entrepreneur. I believe so. A business person is running a business. Understand? In my view, entrepreneur is someone who has a purpose beyond the commerce. There's commerce.
You're slapping your own back too much, man, it'll turn red.
And I'm trying, Sadhguru. This is an effort for some time. Like from my perspective, I see you as an entrepreneur who saw that there is a purpose in bringing better living and better life for a lot of people, and it has to be done sustainably. Because if it is not done sustainably, it won't last for a long period of time. And that's how you combine these two initiatives. When you were starting back in the day, I read about your story, whatever I have read, little. I think that the information is more, so I may have missed it, so I apologize. You already had a thriving business, so actually left a business to start Isha Foundation. How did you have the courage, and what did you not get scared of the risk that something like that comes with? To pursue an initiative which understandably will not give you a lot of income or at least survival in the first few years.
See, it may look a bit odd if I tell you things as they are. So should I do little diplomacy with you?
No, let's go as they are.
As is.
As is.
So I want you to understand, even when I got into business, my only intent was, by the time I'm, like 19, I started riding across India, crisscrossing India on my motorcycle.
At 19?
Yes. And then I hit the national borders. When I tried to cross, they said, you need a passport. I was nearly 20, almost 20, and I did not know what is a passport. Today a 5-year-old child will know. I did not know what's a passport. I thought when I turned 18, within 3 months I got my license. I've been riding since I'm 12. But the first thing is, when I turned 18, within 3 months I got my license. And I didn't understand what is this other document that they need. I have my license, I thought I can go anywhere in the world. I'm in that mode. Then I turned back and I came back and inquired around where to get the passport, this, that, and I got my passport within 4 or 5 months. Then my only thing is, now that they stopped me at the border, my thing is I want to just ride across the world. Who will stop me? Now I got this new one also. Okay, I didn't know there's a visa on top of it. So I'm saying I'm a wild creature, looking everywhere with fresh eyes, but
But by the way, I must say that whatever you do, you figured out a way to be legal in that. So when you had to leave the class, you use the socks to have legal. When you have to ride a bike, you got your license 3 months after 18. When you had to get through the border, you got the passport. It's like, you had this perspective of saying that what is legal.
No, I am not thinking legal, illegal. I believe in doing everything the way it works.
And you saw that this is how it works,
Yes,
that
this is how
everybody
it
gets
works.
a passport.
Right
Somebody
now,
asked for it.
initially I was just teaching and like how we conducted the initial programs. I go somewhere and I teach. We try to…
I have seen a lot of photos, a lot of my friends and colleagues have been to some of those,
Your
programs that you
friends
visited.
couldn't have come to those classes, they're too old.
Yeah, I think maybe this is the
No, they
2008.
I started teaching in '82.
Okay, that's…
So,
Sorry about that.
I go somewhere and…
So back in '82, you used to go to different towns and…
Yes. So I go teach somewhere. Initially I tried to teach free, and I had to close my business, I had money, I had sold some properties, and still I'm selling properties because what I made at that time in that short time period and
So
everything…
you're a very good business person.
It all multiplied many fold. Many fold means 1,000-fold from that day to this day, the same.
So you were doing venture capital type investments back
Yes,
in 80s.
see, one of the things that I did was, I built farms for people. All the academics who come to Mysore University want to settle down in Mysore because the weather is good, it's a cultural city, all that stuff. So they don't know how to do a farm, but they have a dream of doing a farm. So I created small farms for them, 2-acre, 3-acre, 5-acre farms, everywhere. So I built many farms. Simply in 2 months I'll make a farm and the value of the farm from what I have invested,
Multiply.
minimum 5 to 10 times.
That's a very smart business even today.
Even today it is, if you know how to do it.
You're giving me new ideas, Sadhguru. So
Let me finish.
yeah,
this.
please continue.
So there are many other enterprises on the parallel which I did, I don't want to go into all the detail. But I got labeled as the biggest, brick manufacturer in the town because I just did bricks in a very unique way. Some other day when you really need a business idea, I'll talk to you in detail how I did it. Nobody had thought that it could be done like that. So, things happen, but what I'm saying is, all these things are right in front of your eyes, nobody sees it. Because what is happening in their stupid head is more important for them than the realities of existence. You can only build on the reality. If you build up in the cloud, you are called a psychotic person. Most people are building their worlds in the cloud. No, I don't mean the technology cloud, I mean the real cloud.
Sadhguru, what is your… how do you think about risk in your perspective? Do you think what you did was… because when you explain it, I feel like you did not see it even like a risk, you saw it as…
I never saw it like a risk. I did set up things in most remote places, including this.
Yeah.
When we first bought this first piece of 14 acres of land, and I brought the trustees to see this, just formed a foundation. I wanted them to see. They saw this place and immediately 3 people resigned. They said, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's gone. Because they thought it's so remote, who is going to come here? Well, today
It's partly true back in the day. Today it is no more the
today
issue.
it's an
Back in-
international destination. So, even in Tennessee, I went to the most remote place and today we have over 24 to 26,000 acres and we're building a whole city. It's become a hub.
In Tennessee?
Yeah. In United States.
Yeah.
So,
26,000 acres.
yes.
That's incredible. I'd love to have the honor to visit it some
Please
point of
come.
time.
If it is… we are building a whole city called Yogic City.
It's called the
It's
Yogi.
a conscious planet movement that is part of the thing. So there'll be certain number of people there in future, but right now, maybe there are about 2,000 plus people.
Already.
Yeah. So people are moving in as the buildings come up. So these are remote areas. See, if I had to build ashram in Coimbatore city, we would have bought probably 1 acre, 2 acre and built it. And I saw, for what I have to offer to people, the moment they come to know what I am offering, no space will be enough. Even here, the space is not enough. Rooms are all booked up all the time, everybody is angry with us because we say no room, no room, Only in the leanest period of time there are rooms, other times there are no rooms. So, why I'm saying this is, you can call it business, is there no fear about this, no fear… I don't operate out of fear because I don't see how a man can lose anything in this life. because you come with nothing, you'll go with nothing. One who's come with nothing, what can he lose? Oh, what about money, what about this? There's a way around those things. For every problem there is a solution. It's just that you get tangled up in the problem. You're not looking at the problem, you're getting tangled in the problem. Your psychological mess you think is real. Actual situation is only one or two situations. In your mind, they will multiply into many. Let me put it like this. This happened when in 2008, when the West at least was going into recession. In 2008, India did not go into recession because we had not climbed at all to fall. South Korea fell big time, US and Europe took some big hits. India, some people were saying, oh, we did not fall, we are the strongest economy. I said, you have to climb to fall down. If you don't climb, you won't fall, of course.
We were a much smaller economy.
Yes, very small. So there was no place to fall. So when this happened, everybody was in black mood. And I was asked to do certain things in the economic forum, leave that alone. There's this thing that happened, an American delegation went to China because they're trying to expand business there.
In China?
Yeah, those are not the tariff days. Because they want to find some new market and do something because recession is beginning to set in.
Exports, find a new market.
Yeah. So all the Americans are looking billionaires, but crestfallen. The same was happening in Davos also. They're crestfallen because a few billions down they are. Just a number game.
Yeah.
It's nowhere are billions, all right, it's just in your mind. So this Chinese guy, very wise guy, he did this in a hotel lobby. He brought one chair and put it in front of a mirror. He said, see, here, this is one chair, in the mirror one more chair. And then he asked somebody to bring another mirror, put it there, and see, now there are hundreds of chairs. If you lose these hundreds of chairs, no problem, as long as you have this chair. It's the only chair you actually had. So this is all in our mind, this loss will happen, that loss will happen. I don't see it that way. I don't see life as success and failure. You come as a human being, you have 4 limbs and you got a few working brain cells, you're a big success in my mind. Whether you experience yourself as a success or you make a misery out of yourself is an unfortunate reality lot of people are doing to themselves.
I think, Sadhguru, this is such a well-taken takeaway because it's the reality of life that some days you will feel like I'm not going through a great time, some days…
No, I'm not talking about that. Why should you feel some days like this, some days like that? I'm every day blissed out only. Whatever the hell is happening.
That's what I'm saying, that's the learning that we should take away from you.
No, it's not a learning, I'm saying. It's not a learning, it's a fundamental fact in our existence.
That we need to remind ourselves.
You need to recognize this is the reality.
Yeah. That instead of being bothered, like reality is like you said, you're with 2 hands, 2 limbs, you're 4,
Some working brain cells.
some working brain cells.
Now, working means they're working for you, not against you. There are a lot of people, their brain cells are working, but against them.
Okay. So what worse can happen? So you're absolutely right. We should not put oneself through the misery or the satisfaction.
If you're not dead, you're doing great.
Yeah.
If you're dead, no problem at all.
Yeah. So, Sadhguru, let's talk about Sadhguru, the app founder. You do so many things. One recent new addition is you have a new app,
Miracle of Mind.
Miracle of Mind, which, just for everyone listening, is probably the fastest growing app ever in the health category. Fastest growing app in itself in any category overall, which recently beat ChatGPT in the number of downloads.
Why that's become the standard?
Because ChatGPT is probably
I'm thinking Miracle of Mind is a failure. And I also think I'm a big failure because there are 8.4 billion people. Leave the children below 18 or below 15, let's leave them. So at least 7 billion people are there, adults. 7 billion people. Out of them, how many of them wake up joyfully and go to bed joyfully? Let me give him a good percentage, maybe 1 billion. That too for reasons other than themselves. Today, I beat you up, so I am going to bed happy. Today, I made money and you lost money, so I am going to bed happy. Today, I ran a race and I am first and you are nothing. This is how people are joyful, unfortunately. They're just enjoying other people's failures, essentially. How many are actually simply joyfully going to bed? Very small number.
just blissful as it.
Maybe it's in millions, but still very small number. Others are going happy or this thing because they're drunk or they're drugged or something, they're using chemicals to feel little like this and go unconscious. They don't know. In unconsciousness, you neither know misery nor joy, all right? Both are gone. So, essentially, when there are 7 billion eligible people, little more than 2 million enroll, and I don't think it's a success.
It's spoken truly like a entrepreneur, Sadhguru, because for an entrepreneur, the most important is how many people's lives.
Let me
they can
take away
impact.
that word because I think calling myself an entrepreneur would be a bit ugly. So I will tell you like this. Do you want to do a venture in your life or an adventure in your life? An
Oh, that's a
adventure…
good way to compare, huh? Venture or adventure?
Yeah.
I love it.
If you do a venture, you're counting money, counting money. How do you count money? I have little less money than you, so you feel very happy. You're making $1 billion a day, but I made 2 billion, you'll become unhappy. Look at this. Your joy is not about yourself, your joy is everybody should be doing badly. That's the only thing. Adventure means you choose something which is not necessarily safe.
Yeah.
Could be dangerous. Dangerous means if you lose money, I don't think it's very dangerous. You could lose your life. Well, losing money could lead to that one way or the other. You could lose your life one way or the other, because this is the only thing you have and that's the most fragile thing. Poof, it'll go away. So you breathing?
Yeah.
In, out, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, exhalation. Next inhalation did not happen, you're gone.
Yeah.
Not a trace. Wherever we search, you will not be there.
I mean,
That fragile. And it's the only thing you have. Tell me what else you have.
nothing. That's
Nothing.
it.
Rest is all imagination.
Yeah.
The only thing you have. The only thing you have is like you're playing yo-yo with it. If you stop it, you will die.
Yeah.
If you play, you know you will die. This is the beauty of life.
Guru, you said such an intense things with so much happiness. But I'll tell you this, I think your blissfulness and your perspective of adventure, I think it starts with your biking. The more I think about it, because when you're biking…
No, I cycled across South India at
Also.
one time. But then I added a motor to it.
But it's such a… you're like… if you think about it that simply, that's all you have. That's all you have.
It's not you think about it, that's all you have.
That's a fact.
Whether you think or you don't think, whether you have a brain
That's
or
the reality.
you have no brain, that's all you got.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sadhguru, as I use the app, I saw that the level of details that the app experience has. Tell me a little bit about the galaxy picture. Why did you consider putting that up in the middle of the experience?
See, the reason why… See, let's look at it this way. People have always been trying to sell miracles to people. They've launched religions, they've launched many movements talking about miracles. Some of them keep on coming up with new miracles. If you really pay attention, they're quite ridiculous stuff. I've been joking with people. See, Sadhguru, you don't perform any miracle. That guru does this, he pulled out chain from the tree, he pulled out this from the tree. Said, I can pluck a mango, man, from a tree. It's not good enough for you. You want a chain? You want to hang yourself? You can put a rope. And you really want a miracle, I can put my hand in my pocket and pull out a pigeon and give it to you. What is achieved? You have a bird. I have a shitty pocket.
With no bird anymore.
Nothing has changed. All is, I got mess and I gave you the mess. Leave the damn bird, let it fly.
Let it fly.
What are you doing keeping it in your pocket? So I'm saying the idea of miracle has been so silly, rudimentary, not even childish, it's infantile. Miracles which are flying as great religions in many ways. So if you really look at it, all these miracles were created by this miracle. Somebody saw how to create something which at least grabs everybody's imagination and they can do something out of it. Maybe I will give them the margin, maybe they started with the intention of really doing something good. Along the way, many things happen, this you can't help unfortunately. This is what happens over a period of time. So, the only miracle that you know is the human mind.
Yeah.
But where is all the human misery manufactured in the world? In Delhi? Huh?
Same place.
In the human mind.
In the human mind.
So this mind, which could be a miracle, now has become misery manufacturing place. This is simply because you don't know how to hold it. When I say you don't know how to hold it, if I ask you a simple question, do you want your intellect or mind to be sharp or blunt? Choose, I'm going to bless you.
Sharp.
Sharp, you asked for it. So if if you're given something very sharp, let's say we gave you a knife which is super sharp, now how you hold it, you must be very conscious.
Careful.
Conscious.
Yeah.
not careful.
Conscious, that's right.
Careful comes, your mother will tell you, be careful.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. You asked for it, okay?
Let's do this.
I'm traveling in Kailash, trekking, in tents, staying in a tent. I'm working on something, I'm writing something, and there is a person who is out to cut an apple, with a knife, of course. It's one of those porcelain knives of today, which is supposed to be very sharp. So there's another person who says, be careful, it's a very sharp knife. It irritates me. Something so obvious when you say it, it irritates me. I call something a knife only if it's sharp. If it's blunt, I call it a hammer. And this is not a child. If it's a child, I agree.
As an adult.
Adult. Is there a need to tell him it's a very sharp knife? Stole.
Knife is supposed to be sharp.
Yes. That's not how it is, you must say it. Then I am continuing to work, a bit irritated about this nonsense. Then again that person says, be careful, it's a very sharp knife. I said, hey, come on, leave him alone. He's a grown-up man, he must know the knife is sharp. No, Sadhguru, it's a very, very sharp knife, Sadhguru. I said, shut up. I know a knife is sharp, and when you handle a knife, you should know how to handle it. It's not some complicated machinery, and he's not trying to do a surgery, all right? If he was doing some minor surgery, then you can remind him, be careful, it may go deeper than you want. He's just cutting an apple. And poor apple doesn't care how you cut it, whichever way you cut it, it doesn't like it.
It's out there to be cut anyway.
No, it's not there to be cut. That's not what an apple thinks. We think
That's true.
whichever way you cut, it doesn't like it.
So it's…
Cut it quickly and be done with it, because you have to eat it. So like this people go on. Why? Because if I give you a sharp knife, you must know